We all saw Civil War. Everyone welcome Kez to the podcast. She's
the new Maddie.
She's the new Maddie. She's the new editor.
With less facial hair.
100% more female.
Yes.
Yeah. Elliot, why do you have a thing hanging out of your nose?
Because I'm a little bit under the weather.
You're always under the weather.
It's been a full 2 weeks since the last time I was sick.
That is not true. It might be,
Less
it might be a
than,
little bit true.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you almost got me sick for Coachella, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
So it has been just about 2 weeks. You need to get better. You're
Yeah.
going on vacation.
That'll clear me right up.
Yeah.
That salt water, the Pacific, always does. It's great. Clears
Fresh
me
air
right
is
up.
good for you.
Oh,
Fresh
yeah.
air. I'm sitting in this goddamn office full of probably just like asbestos raining down on my fucking nose all day.
I doubt that's true.
I have very sensitive sinus tissue. Doesn't take a lot for me to get a little swollen up in there.
All right, well, enough
So,
about
yeah.
Elliot's
If
autoimmune
you have any
deficiency
home
disease.
remedies, I'm
Yeah.
drinking some tea. Had some medicine. I don't even remember what I took, but I took some meds.
He took it all. So we saw Captain America Civil War.
Oh, that's the movie we were supposed to watch before this?
Oh, what did you watch?
I watched Lincoln.
Oh,
It's a great movie.
the one with Matthew
Different
McConaughey?
No.
No.
That's the Lincoln lawyer.
No, that's
Yeah.
the Lincoln Town Car.
Whew.
He's in a lot of stuff.
No, I saw Captain America 3 Civil War, and I also,
You watched the other ones.
so I saw Civil War this morning at 8:30 a.m.,
Yeah.
which I can't recommend more. I think I'm going to see all my movies now at the earliest possible showing. Fuck dinner in the movie. It's all about
It's too
breakfast
late.
in the movie.
It's too late. You get to be pushing 70 years old like us. You can't be staying awake for these late movies.
Thankfully, the Thursday night showings now they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
they'll
it
show
starts
them,
like
all
7,
day. But
yeah.
back then, like for the Nolan Batman movies, for example,
Yeah.
you can go see them at midnight. I fell asleep in every single one of those. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I gotta go see it again. And like on a Saturday in the middle of the day.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Sucks.
I saw Jungle Book last week in the middle of the day, and it's great. It's the best way to see
You
it.
get out, you still got time to go about your day.
Yeah.
In my case, the entire day.
Yeah.
But last night I watched Cap 1 and Cap 2 at home back to back.
Cap 2's great, right?
Yeah.
They're both great.
Yeah.
Cap 1, the first half of Cap 1, I think is like the best origin story in the Marvel Cinematic
Yeah.
After
Universe.
seeing that, did it make you want to see Rocketeer again? Same director?
Was it the same director as
Same
Rocketeer?
director,
I
yeah.
definitely got a Rocketeer vibe from it,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
that makes a lot of
Great
sense.
movie.
Yeah, Rocketeer was great. So, speaking of Civil War, since we've all seen it now, let's get right into it. First of all, the answer to the question, which
Does
is
it
probably
suck?
which is probably it does not suck.
No, it's really really good.
I think one of the best superhero movies of all time.
We're gonna get into this eventually, but the amount of plot similarities to Batman versus Superman are
Right?
pretty staggering.
Well, let's just get into it
similar.
right now. I mean, there are a lot of similarities with it, but I think what I found with this
literally
movie,
the same story.
What
But
I
better.
found with this movie was that it did a lot of things differently, and that is why it's so much better. The plot was constantly moving forward, but you were never like confused about what was going on.
Yeah.
And when they brought people in and out of the movie, it made complete sense. It wasn't just a hard cut to something happening.
So in the trailers, it was like all the big fight scenes, and it was like, how the hell are they going to fit all
Yeah.
these characters in the movie? The way they did it was great, especially with Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah,
He's in it
fantastic.
for like probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
More than
And,
that.
and that's
Well,
it.
probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He's in, and then he's out, and it's fucking perfect. You get just the right amount of him.
Yeah.
Did you stay for the ending?
No, I didn't.
The ending? Well,
The-
'cause there
There's
was
two endings.
Oh, I didn't see the
Post-credits?
second one. I saw the first one.
No.
Okay.
What was it?
Spider-Man. We see
Okay.
more of him.
Okay.
Well, I'll
It's
check it out
never
online.
worth the wait. They have so many
Wait.
special effects people working on these movies. You got to wait like 15 minutes. It's bullshit.
So the one thing that I wanted to bring up for sure about this movie was when I was watching it and I was thinking about the similarities between Dawn of Justice and this movie, what I liked about it and what I think stands out the most is that when you're watching this movie specifically, because it will be compared to Dawn of Justice
Yeah.
for a long time until Dawn of Justice just slowly walks away into the shadows. This movie, it deals with a lot of heavy themes, like Dawn of Justice does, but this movie, like most Marvel movies, is fucking fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. It doesn't get too dark like Age of Ultron or something like that. And after watching the trilogy over the course of 12 hours, yeah, like the themes are serious, but like they're consistent. Like this is definitely a Captain America movie because it's all about like, you know, it's all about like being a hero and like working for the people, but also not trusting your government. It's a very American sort of plot.
Yeah.
Like the first one's all about like, oh, greatest generation, like America was in the right 100%, and then once he reached modern times, it's like, oh yeah, everyone's fucking terrible, can't trust your government, they're all evil.
And there's a lot of parts in this movie where they kind of actually make you feel like people are dying in these situations.
You actually care.
Where you actually care.
about the
Whereas
characters.
in Man of Steel, they just kind of glass over it. They're like,
Man of Steel-
people died. We get the scene with Ben Affleck in there. It's
Man
it
of Steel
happens.
had the guy with no legs.
Yeah. Well,
Or
okay.
they made sure they emphasize, oh, don't worry, no one died on this island. Remember when Wonder Woman's on the airplane?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah.
island is conveniently empty.
Yeah.
No
So
one's dead.
Yeah, I did like that they totally addressed not only the fact that there's a lot of collateral damage, a lot of people dying, but also like how guilty they all feel about it when
Yeah, they
they're
all
like,
feel terrible.
confronted with that fact.
Going into it, it was like, okay, well, how are they going to be so divisive against each other? But they're not really. I mean, they all
Well-
feel terrible, but they feel strongly in two different ways. And there is a lot of back and forth.
They
And
both want the same thing. They just have different levels of faith in the system.
Yeah, but there's people on both sides that I think teeter back and forth throughout the movie on whether or not they're doing the right thing in that specific choice, irregardless of whatever else is going on around them. There's a part where Black Widow is kind of like, you know what, like, she kind of changes her mind a little bit
They're
about.
Yeah.
pretty much, except for Tony and War Machine, they're all pretty much like on the fence.
Yeah.
And it's the issue of Bucky that pushes it over the line
Right.
for Cap
Yeah,
because he has a personal relationship. The rest of them are like, we should probably choose our battles. Like, it's kind of bad timing for this whole Bucky thing. Let's just like let the law do the work. But Captain America just got a real soft spot for that Bucky
Yeah.
Barnes.
He
And
sure does.
do we know it? According to a lot of people, Captain America is still a virgin at age 90.
Well, okay.
Well, I don't know now about with Sharon and all that, which, by the way, is kind of creepy. The whole.
Well, it was
Sharon
weird that he was at
Carter
the
and
funeral and was like,
it's-
hey, how
it
about
has-
that? Hey, I know your aunt just died.
Damn, my
Right?
first crush is dead.
Was
Anyways.
anyone else creeped out by that? Seriously.
Anyways, I'll go for her
Oh,
niece or whatever.
I thought it was fun because like the whole Agent Carter, Steve Rogers thing, it was like
I like
mostly platonic.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he fucked her and then fucked her daughter after coming out of a time capsule.
He made sensual love to them.
yes.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah. But I don't know. There was. I guess my only thing that I was like in the beginning, and I think we talked about this morning,
Yeah.
was the
CGI.
in the beginning.
Oh
But it
my
was
God.
only the beginning. It was only like the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes of the movie where I was like, it looks like a fan film, the CGI on this. Like
Yeah.
there's an overhead shot of the car and it looks like it just doesn't belong. It's moving really weird. There's a lot of like movement in the suits in the beginning that doesn't look right. I thought that young Tony Stark looked good.
That was real good.
It was the same
Wow.
technology they used in First Avenger with Skinny Cap, and I forgot that he's
Yeah.
like that for half the fucking movie. It's just like incredible that they pulled that off. But young
It's the same tech team that did Benjamin Button.
Lola
right?
FX.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that on News Dump
They're
recently.
de-aging actors and all this shit.
Yeah.
It helps that Robert Downey Jr. was actually in movies at age
So you get- for comparison.
17, 18, so like they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
so much reference to go off of.
And it just, although it did look like they put more eyeliner on him for
little
his
bit.
younger. Yeah, they're like his eyes were darker back then. He had more raccoon eyes.
That's
He
also a big
actually
thing in the
kind of
90s,
did, though.
Early 90s.
Yeah, no, he
eyeliner
did.
all around.
It's unnatural
Much like
looking,
Less
but
Than Zero, he
Yeah.
looks kind of weird. Like he was kind of a weird kid.
they did a great job on that. But there was the first initial fight scene was. There was some kind of like weird uncanny valley for me, but the rest of the movie looked great.
It's great,
It was
yeah.
like, okay, the rest of this movie cost so much, let's just skimp on the very beginning or something.
Yeah, it was
That's what it
definitely-
felt like.
One thing I feel like the direction was that it was so chaotic, and the mistakes that we're making in that fight scene, they were trying to show that with the camera movements because they fucked
Yeah,
up
I mean,
so
that's-
hard in that mission.
that could be true, yeah.
So that could be.
It
an
was a
argument.
very small
The
note for
whole
me.
movie, though, it was kind of on like a shot-by-shot basis, where I noticed this especially with Spider-Man. Some shots of Spider-Man looked perfect.
Yeah.
They looked real, like, completely great. And then there was other shots of Spider-Man where he looked like fucking Stretch Armstrong, Play-Doh cartoon character. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is,
Maybe they had, like, different effects companies working on different
Oh,
shots.
That could be completely true. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the fluid movement is probably done by someone else instead of
Yeah.
like the close up of him on the little airport or airplane mover thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's most likely done by different people. But I mean, those are all very minor notes in an otherwise pretty fantastic overall movie.
Yeah.
I loved pretty much everything about it. When I walked out, I immediately wanted to see it again. I was just like,
Same.
like I said before, that was so much fun. It was great seeing all the characters play out. It was amazing seeing Paul Rudd as Ant-Man back in this movie.
And
Yeah.
I forgot
big
how.
Ant-Man news.
Whoa.
He gets all big.
I mean, that's a
Spoilers.
sort of a spoiler. But if you're watching this, you probably already
Why
seen
are you
it.
watching this if you haven't seen the movie? Yeah. Him getting huge was awesome.
great.
That effect was perfect.
Yeah.
Because they even accounted for the fact that he was larger with his movements. Like his
Yeah,
movements were all
so
just like
slow.
really.
Yeah.
It felt heavy and it felt like gravity was at play.
He was so good in Ant-Man, and it was like refreshing and just good to see him again in this movie and realize that, like, man, they nailed this casting of Ant-Man with Paul Rudd. Like, Paul Rudd is the perfect actor for a Marvel movie because he's hilarious, he's charismatic, he wasn't always like super built, but now he's like pretty built.
He's still like the scrawnier guy on the team.
Yeah.
I loved how excited he was to like meet Captain America.
Yeah, no, that was so great too.
Oh, and the
Like, and he's like
scene, that
apologizing
fun.
too. He's just like, like the Avengers. Oh my
Right,
god.
right.
Yeah.
Did you guys go crazy over the bromance scene during that time too? With
Which bromance
with
scene?
Bucky and Sam in the car and
Oh, that was so cool,
When he
yeah.
When he was
kisses
asleep.
the daughter or the kisses.
well, that
the
too. They're like,
Carter
yeah,
girl,
go
yeah.
Steve. But yeah, no, I was talking
But like,
about
you know, when they're just
like-
cruising around in the car with two, and they're like, like, can you put your seat up or whatever like that? It
No.
was like that whole scene was like
Anthony
great.
Mackie is great
Yeah.
as Falcon.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite.
I mean, I
Avenger.
think that's what you can kind of take away from this movie as a whole. And we talked about it in the months leading up. It's like, okay, this movie is slam packed with characters and actors. How are they going to pull it off? Looking at this movie and walking away from it, you're looking at it and saying, they've done such a good job casting everyone so perfectly, except for the original War Machine. What was it?
Empire guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
He's out.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, yeah. But yeah, Marvel has done such a good job nailing the casting for these characters.
and writing them in ways where you very, very quickly understand who they are.
Yeah.
They don't waste any time. There's
Well, that's
no
what's great about this
dead
too, because they
space.
said that Black Panther is not going to be an origin, Spider-Man's not going to be an origin.
He had
You
his
don't
origin
need it.
already.
right off the
Yeah,
bat, you
in
know
the
exactly
movie, it's
what
his
this guy's
origin
about.
story.
Yeah, the shit is on the line for Black Panther right away in this movie. And speaking of perfect castings, Chadwick Boseman
Oh wow.
killed it in this movie.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was surprised how much Black Panther was in this movie.
lot.
He was in this movie for a great deal of time. I thought it was going to be maybe one of those. I knew
More
that he would get
cameo.
more time than Spider-Man, but I didn't know it was going to be this active in the movie. It was
important part.
great. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. And yeah, the Spider-Man casting knocked it out of the
Phenomenal.
park. And he's another one where in his very limited time on screen, you totally get who this Peter Parker character is.
Yeah.
Just literally just in the conversation between him and Tony Stark when he comes to his apartment. You're like,
This is
you
great.
don't need a fucking origin story.
Yeah.
Because you know exactly this kid's just like some fucking awkward nerd who happens to have superpowers.
Yeah.
And just like he's totally a teenager as opposed to like other Peter Parkers just not they didn't seem like actual high school kids. He
Yeah.
seems like a real high school
Well, and
student.
that I liked that too, specifically because we talked before about how there's a lot of emotion in this movie, but also a lot of fun. And there's so many moments in this movie where you're teetering on the edge of like, this is crazy what I'm watching right now. This is like an emotional roller coaster. And then like a scene like the apartment scene with Peter Parker happens, and there's the scene where they're all in the car together and stuff. And it's just
Yeah.
like, this is such a great break from all the intensity that's been happening. So this is just another thing that I enjoyed about
And it
it.
makes it more believable.
And it's
too.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie is like super funny.
Yeah.
So it also helps that the humor's there. Whereas not Dark Knight, but Dawn of Justice had none of.
I
Love
did
it.
find it interesting that Martin Freeman had like 60 seconds on screen.
Yeah, great American
Each
accent.
time
there.
we saw him, it was quite
I'm
fantastic.
I'm sure he comes into play a lot more
Yeah,
in the
later
next
on.
couple movies. But yeah, I did think that was funny. I was like, oh, Martin Freeman, I forgot he was in this, and then just
gone.
gone for until the
there
very end of the movie.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bruhl, German actor, he's great in everything he does. He mostly does German stuff.
Yeah.
But I liked him a lot. He was very sinister, but also emotional. I didn't really like the payoff with the whole explanation of what the hell he was doing, though. It didn't really make sense to me. It's like, how does he have all these resources if he's just some dude who's like pissed off about his family being
I didn't
dead?
explain that very much.
Well, is he? Yeah, I don't
Like-
really. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, like motivation is perfect there. He's another person that's mad
I
at
mean,
the
maybe
Avengers.
that's gonna be something that we find out in next time.
Yeah, I was like, how is he
around,
getting like an
possibly?
EMP and a bomb? How is he flying all over the world and sneaking around? And, like,
Hydra or
all they had to do was include some reference to Hydra, but they didn't. Some
Yeah, and I don't see him being
Yeah.
a really important character for future movies. Like, sure, he was a villain, but he
I
wasn't the
mean,
main force.
I don't know how they're
Or
gonna
he's
do
not.
it, but yeah, that's another thing with this movie that I thought was. It was weird, but also I didn't mind it. Is the fact that there's not like this scene like in I keep talking about Dawn of Justice, but everyone's gonna be talking about it. There's not like this huge fucking enemy that comes down, like this villain role that's specifically
Yeah.
separate from
Right.
everyone else that they're going after. It's all internal, and there's some other stuff going on. I don't really want to spoil it, the whole thing or not, but yeah, it's a lot. It is just Civil War, and I thought that was great. It's like how Dawn of Justice did Batman v Superman, and then Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman versus Doomsday, like blah 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 blah, all this extra stuff, and
Like, it feels like it was just kind of forced in there. But it,
Civil War was the big thing
balance.
was
Yeah,
them against each other.
Well, the benefit that they had in this movie that they didn't have in Dawn of Justice is they've had 10 or so movies to
Build backstory.
let you
12, actually.
Yeah,
This was the 13th
fucking
movie.
12 movies
I think,
for
yeah.
you to like understand this world, understand most of these characters,
Become
and,
emotionally attached to them, all separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
by the way, Hulk does appear in this movie.
what?
File footage.
Oh.
Like, pull it up. You could say that he is in the movie.
I guess. No.
Dumb. He
Yeah.
does not. He's
I was
not.
very happy that Thor wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Get him out of there. Get your
Thor's the worst one.
Thor's
Ooh, Asgard!
Did Clint really need to be there?
I liked that he was. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I liked that he showed up.
Are you talking about Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there literally so that they could redo that scene with Ant-Man on the arrow
Yeah.
from the comic books.
Yeah.
That is why he was there.
And they
He was a
needed-
plot device.
They also needed someone for that showdown at the airport to fight Black Widow and not just murder her.
Murder.
Yeah, like someone who's actually like
True.
physically matched to
Like,
her.
who else would she fight? It's so true.
Yeah,
A lot of the fight scenes with her were great though,
Yes.
and they were brutal.
very good choreo. Like
The fight choreography was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all of the fight scenes were interesting and did not bore me. There's definitely like a sort of Bourne Identity kind of influence there with the way Cap fights, the way Black Widow fights. But even even with all those heroes, it was just like really cool seeing like the combinations of like between the two of them. It's like, oh, if the Vision's fighting.
Yeah, you
Someone else,
see
like-
like what works and what doesn't between their
it's
specific
sort of
powers.
like it's like in a video game where
Vision's pretty overpowered compared to
he's way too OP.
Yeah.
His only weakness is his emotions.
Cooking.
And also,
can't
apparently he
cook.
can't aim very well.
Yeah.
He can't cook either.
Vision should be
apparently.
court-martialed. He should be the one in jail.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at fucking Falcon.
This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Head to lootcrate.com/ETC, enter code ETC, save $3 on any new subscription. It helps out the podcast.
Yeah, and it's more than just a subscription service. It's
Dummy.
an entire community of fans that share their experience and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate.
Pass them around.
They guarantee 40 plus bucks in value
Hold
in
on.
every single crate, sometimes a lot more. Every month there's a different theme, and all the items are curated around that theme. Previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and more.
Yeah.
At least several more.
The onslaught of big summer blockbusters makes May the perfect time to celebrate some of pop culture's unstoppable, unrelenting, and unbeatable characters and objects. They've got something you can carry, something for your kitchen, and a cool figure to go with their monthly tee and pin. Featuring 2 Marvel items plus Warcraft, Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot there. No one crate should have all that power.
Wow. Wow, Loot Crate. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. When the cutoff happens, sorry, bro, that's it. No crate for you.
Yeah.
Better luck next month. So go to lootcrate.com/ETC, enter the promo code ETC. You save $3 on your new subscription today.
Really helps us out.
Now let's get back to the show.
So yeah, no, the matchups were really great. It was great to see just how they reacted to each other's powers for once, and I thought that what would be considered the final battle between Bucky and Iron Man and Captain America was one of the most like
was intense.
visceral,
Yeah.
fucking intense fight scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It was intense.
you definitely get to see Iron Man, Tony Stark, more pissed off than I think he's ever been in
Yeah.
any of these movies.
Well,
Definitely like just straight up trying to kill the other two dudes.
Yeah.
It was really cool, and Bucky with that fucking arm trying to pull his arc reactor out, so badass.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah.
That's another thing about this movie that was great, where you're just like,
Although
wow,
I thought he would
what I'm
die.
watching is great, but no, like,
the arm.
stop doing it.
But I thought he would like die if you pulled the arc reactor out. Isn't that what's powering
I
his
was
heart?
worried about that too.
Yeah,
So
same.
I'm
I'm like, he's dead now, right?
No, but he has separate little reactors for each suit now that connects to the reactor inside of his chest.
Okay.
So if he jammed the shield even farther, then yeah, it would have killed him. But he just
Yeah.
disabled the suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sure.
Spoilers.
It was written very well then.
Still very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing about Tony Stark and Spider-Man, it's great to see how that relationship actually played out and became what it is. And it makes complete sense because Tony Stark is investing in the bright youth of America, and Spider-Man's definitely one of them. And I mean, that goes along perfectly with the casting of Tony Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a Sony movie that's going to have Iron Man in it.
I wonder if he's gonna be like the new father figure,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
basically. So.
Uncle Tony.
And then he's
Uncle
gonna
Tony.
get
Yeah, I'll
killed.
let you drink.
Uncle Tony's the cool uncle.
Don't tell Aunt May. Your hot Aunt May.
Ooh, yeah, she's
I'm
really
gonna bang.
hot.
Yeah, Marissa
how'd that
Tomei.
happen?
Marissa Tomei's like 60 years old. She looks
She's
great.
not 60.
Oh.
She's
Hold
not 60. I'll look it up.
You look it
But
up.
she is hot, and it is great that Tony Stark is knows that she's very sexy, and hopefully he will
He's
be Peter's
freshly
uncle.
single.
Peter,
I'm your new dad.
I see you're in mourning.
Actually, the actress
geez.
who is almost 60, the main Asian actress in Shields, she's like super old.
I don't watch that show.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I'll just Google it.
How old is Marissa Tomei?
Marissa Tomei is 51. You were off by a decade.
Oh, she still looks great for 51.
She looks fantastic for
Absolutely.
51, but she would look godlike at 60 if she looked the same way.
You get her and like Julia Louis-Dreyfus and who else is aging really well?
Jennifer Aniston
She's
looks
only
pretty
like
great.
40 though.
No, she's older
She
than
was
that.
just labeled like most beautiful woman still, I think, wasn't
She's
fun.
by who? A Hollywood Rag
she?
magazine?
Or People or whatever,
Yeah,
I don't
People.
know.
People.
People. Who are
Yeah,
these people?
anyways, Aunt
Billy's
May's
not
hot.
anymore.
That's what it comes down to is Aunt May is hot in this one.
Yes.
No one gives a shit about Uncle Ben. He's gone. He's in the
gone,
rear
yeah.
view. Everyone wants to bang Aunt May.
No, he already got in
Yeah.
that car accident.
Yeah. Yeah. He was he kept slipping on like pieces of wood and almost falling off a building.
What a great day.
Oh man,
I think that happened.
I'm really gonna enjoy myself now. Now that I've narrowly escaped that. I don't know. Let's talk about the future of Marvel to wrap this thing up, kind of, because
So-
there's a lot that this leads into.
Black Panther.
Well, Black Panther obviously right out of the gate, and Spider-Man right out of
What's
the
the
gate.
next one?
I think it's Spider-Man.
me look
No,
at
the
that.
next one is Doctor
Look up the-
Strange.
Well, yeah, but that's not in
MCU
this. like-
slate.
It's still the same universe.
It's it is, but it's not. Is he going to be in Infinity War?
Probably.
They mentioned him in one of the Avengers.
Infinity
though.
War is supposed to be like all the
and
Marvel
then
universe
Yeah.
thrown
Thanos is
together.
going to come in.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so it might be include everyone.
I
don't know.
imagine he will.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Let's look what's
MCU
next.
timeline. So you got Doctor Strange in November. Come on. Oh, what? The fuck is this shit? Okay, here we go. Wait, Wikipedia.
Your phone is so old. It's an
like
S3.
a year old. 21st. Oh my god. Okay.
Keep going. Oh, we have another Thor coming out. Buh. And we have another fucking whatchamacallit coming out too. There's some garbage in there.
Who wrote this Wikipedia article? It's fucking garbage. Guardians of the Galaxy, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't care about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Get it out of here.
It's actually pretty good this season.
Yeah, no one watches TV. Unless it's People versus OJ. And I have now officially mentioned it on every single podcast. I skipped that one with Ratchet and Clank because I knew I couldn't bring up People versus OJ.
Yeah, you love that show a little too much.
Great.
It's a great show. Tori agrees.
Can't find apparently the list I was looking at was an actual chronological list of like when the movies take place. I don't care.
Wrong list.
That's why it was showing individual episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Ugh, imagine watching it like that. Whoa.
I
No.
don't want to. Okay.
Get outta here.
Okay. So, Captain America Civil War kicks off Phase 3 of Marvel. Next up, Doctor Strange this November. After that, next May, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, so that's only a year away. That's great.
And then there's and then right after that, in July, is Spider-Man Homecoming. And then in November is Thor. So in 2017, there are 3 Marvel movies coming out.
Yeah. And then in the meantime, we have a bunch of Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
But all of that is separate. Joss Whedon said it's all separate.
And then also in 2018, there's 3, Black Panther, followed by Infinity War Part 1, which will probably get a new title, as we reported on.
Yeah.
Thank God. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah. Well, so obviously, I mean, the first thing I want to talk about is Black Panther because that movie is going to be great. It has the director from
Dark.
Straight Outta Compton.
Good.
It is going to be probably one of the most serious. I think Doctor Strange is going to be pretty
Serious.
dark and serious.
Yeah.
But after watching Black Panther on screen yesterday for a substantial amount of time, I am so on board with this movie, and I feel like it could really, really be
He's
something
going to catch
special.
Joseph Cody.
Yeah.
Finally.
Coney
He's the right
2012.
man for the job.
Coney 2018. Yeah, he's gonna stop all those child soldiers.
Yeah, that's the thing about like setting a superhero story in Central Africa.
Yeah.
It's a very scary place.
Yeah.
A lot of really bad things happen there. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's got bigger fish to fry.
It's a fake place.
Well, Wakanda's fake,
Yeah.
but they showed it on a map, and it's like it's in the center of Africa.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of bad things going on there. So
Yeah.
like,
He's gonna
what
go
are
down
you
to-
doing for Africa?
He's gonna go down to South Africa and fight Die Antwoord.
Who's the director for Black Panther? Ryan something?
Ryan Coogler,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I'll see anything with Paul Rudd as Ant-Man.
Man and the Wasp.
And Spider-Man, I mean, I'm really excited for that. It's going to be very strange to see how Marvel and Sony kind of
Work
juggle
together.
that
Yeah.
movie franchise. I think it's going to be more of Marvel just being like, yeah, I
creative
think
control.
we'll step in and take it from here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sony is just getting a honorary like logo
Yeah.
in the movie.
Just put our logo on, it'll be fine.
Because it's literally just like Marvel. The whole deal, it's way more beneficial to Sony than it is to Marvel. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's beneficial to Marvel in the sense that they get to regain and take control of a character that is one of the biggest
but
ones
they
they
didn't
have.
need him. They were doing just fine
They
without
didn't
him.
need him, but the fact of the matter is like
It's the love of the
Spider-Man is one of the
franchise.
biggest superheroes for
Yeah.
Marvel.
That's
and-
true. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like Sony had botched the whole Spider-Man IP so badly
Yeah.
that having Marvel take it over while letting Sony still make money off of it is working out way more for Sony
Yeah.
than it is for Marvel.
Yeah. They were going to be screwed.
Yeah.
I just love that the fucking last movie is just never going to pay off with Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
Yeah, it's never
Because
gonna
he's
happen.
literally in the last 5 minutes of the movie. And he's never going to get to play that role.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the Amazing franchise just it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 3 coming soon.
Wink.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's doing just fine by himself.
I'm sure he's great.
He just signed on for a new movie from David Robert Mitchell, the director of It Follows, his next movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a modern L.A. noir story called Silver Lake.
Ooh, good.
Should be very cool.
Yeah.
So he's doing fine. Paul Giamatti's doing just fine.
He's doing great. He was in Straight Outta Compton with Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great.
He's great at playing someone's manager.
He's great at just playing an
He's,
angry old man.
Yeah, an angry old white man. 'Cause he did it. My first experience with Paul Giamatti, knowing that it was Paul Giamatti, was watching Private Parts, the Howard Stern movie.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah, he's Pig Vomit, the
Oh,
executive.
really?
Yeah.
He's great in American Splendor. I mean, that's like his big break was that one. But yeah, he's just good at playing angry, crotchety, bald dudes.
And now he'll
That's the
never be
stereotype.
Rhino.
Oh, that's just too bad.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
they'll bring him back for Spider-Man.
I hope not. Spider-Man has like the dumbest villains in
Yeah.
the entire.
It really does.
Like,
That's why I
comic
could never
book
get
universe.
into the comic for Spider-Man. And
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
Green Goblin and Hobgoblin are pretty decent, but they don't work on camera apparently.
Nah.
They look like Power Rangers.
Dr. Octopus is cool.
Yeah, actually, well, he's cool except he's lame. Like
contradiction.
like the octopus thing's awesome, but like he's just like this like fat 50-year-old man. He's like, yeah, I'm a scientist with 8 arms.
They told me I could be anything,
there's,
so I became an octopus.
Mysterio is literally just has a crystal ball for a head. He
Yeah.
looks fucking retarded. God, what else is there? Rhino, fuck off. He's a
So
rhinoceros.
dumb.
Yeah, but he got the big metal suit. He looked cool in the
Who
movie.
did Jamie Foxx play?
But that was the whole thing with
Electro?
Yeah, he looked. So the whole thing with Giamatti's Rhino in Spider-Man was they teased him in the fucking trailer, and that was the only scene he was
Yeah.
in the entire movie.
Vulture. He's another old man using some science to like get back at the world. They said I could be anything, and now I'm a vulture.
They said the whole thing is about them being pissed off that there's this little young scientist swinging around.
Yeah.
And boy, Venom's cool. They botched it in the movie.
Venom's
but
Venom's he's a pretty cool character.
he could be
but-
terrifying, but they just made him dumb looking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, Venom's all right.
there's some in there.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna get to share villains, and they're all gonna fight
We're gonna
Thanos.
spread the villains around.
We only have so many of them. Oh, but speaking of crotchety old white men, the cameo of
Stan Lee.
in this. I love it when he saved it until the very end.
Man.
Tony, stay.
It was so stupid.
That probably was
forced.
an ad lib.
Yeah, they're probably like,
Just read the words, Stan. Tony Stank. Oh God, I can't remember the names of the characters I created because I'm a fucking old man.
oh, I did prove that like they do not need him in a movie at all.
But they put him in
no.
every single one.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think they already
Fans
like?
will
Do you think
look
when
out
they
for it.
when
if
they?
he didn't show up, they would be so like this movie was awesome, but dude, there was no Stan
No,
Lee.
fuck that.
No one knows
Cares about
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee anymore.
Do you think when they announced like Phase 3, they were like, all right, let's film all of Stan's parts right now.
He could drop it any minute.
He's not gonna be around for part 2 of Infinity War. We gotta film Stan Lee's thing right now. Dress him up as a FedEx guy, make him a DJ in Deadpool. We're gonna do it all in one day. Just to
The whole arrangement with Stan Lee and Marvel is actually pretty interesting. A friend of mine worked for Stan Lee like Productions a couple years back. He said like all the original contracts that Stan Lee signed with Marvel are completely unenforceable today because they
Yeah.
were drawn up by like amateur lawyers in the year 1960. So there's a potential.
show him, Mr. Lee.
There's a potentially like gargantuan lawsuit that could happen at any moment if Stan Lee ever feels that he's being just like not treated properly by
Yeah.
Marvel. So
Really?
that's why they put him in all the movies.
Yeah,
they
they
treat
treat
him
him
really
like
well.
gold.
He goes to like conventions. He sells merch with characters he doesn't even fucking own on him, and they're like, whatever.
Just
You're
let
Stan
him do
Lee.
whatever he wants.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no way that like Stan Lee's Kamikaze is in no way related to Marvel.
Yeah.
Like,
No, if you look at Stanley.com, like any Stan Lee shit, he uses all the Marvel shit without permission, basically, or
Yeah.
with just like the minimal amount of licensing. But they let him do it because if he wanted to, he could sue Marvel for $1 billion and he'd have a case.
yeah, you know, we got a spot for you in the movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Excelsior.
Yeah. It's double ironic because he himself screwed over like
pretty much everyone.
like Jack
Yeah.
Kirby
Yeah.
like you get you design all the characters, come up with the stories, give you 10 cents for every $1 I make.
Yeah.
Excelsior.
All right, final thoughts on this movie. I loved it. It was great.
good.
The
Amazing.
airport scene is one of the best fight scenes ever of all
Phenomenal.
time. It's so much back and forth between like, oh my God, this is emotionally traumatizing. Oh, this is hilarious. Like you're all over the place depending on which character you're looking at. When my favorite part of the entire fight scene,
The Star Wars moment.
that was great.
yeah.
That was great. That was a great use of their ability to talk about their own universe
Yes.
because Disney owns it.
Yeah.
I thought that was really great. My favorite part of that scene was when Vision flew through Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, so he's just like pretty much everything with Ant-Man. I love when he went inside Tony's suit and started like unplugging wires. Tony's like, "What the hell's going on?"
is your
Just
conscience
turns on the
speaking.
exhaust port and just shoots him out. Yeah, everything with Ant-Man. They just more Ant-Man.
So
Yeah.
good. So good.
Can't wait to see DC's version. Adam.
I also I loved it. I'm curious where they go from here because the movie ends on not exactly the best terms between
No,
everyone.
Yeah, no.
Half of the Avengers are fugitives now.
Yeah.
Half of them don't get along with each other.
Well, I mean, that's they might have the Call of Duty approach. Put it in
Yeah.
space. Send them up to space.
Oh,
I mean,
that
we
is
don't-
the end game.
Yeah,
We
I
got
know.
Same thing
Thanos
with
coming
Bucky.
up.
You probably won't
That's
see
the
him
thing
again
is
for a while either.
I think that part 1 is going to deal with the ramifications of Civil War, and part 2 is going to be that just gigantic, massive
I guess
war.
maybe Thanos shows up in the very end of 1, I'm guessing, and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's still on his chair, he's just floating around in space like he's been doing for the past like 10 movies.
Undoes his belt buckle a little bit.
This is like the Al Bundy of villains. No peg. And it's James Brolin too.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin?
James Brolin is Josh Brolin's father. He's an old man.
All right, great. Josh Brolin.
Barbara Streisand's husband.
Yeah. Josh Brolin.
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny. They cast him at Comic-Con, or they revealed the casting at Comic-Con 3 years ago, I think.
Well, he's
2 or 3 years ago.
Gotta be in Guardians 2, right? That's gonna be the
Right?
thing, right?
Probably.
The whole thing's a mess, but that's the whole thing with Marvel. If anyone else like looking at from the outside in at any point would just be like,
What the
whoa, what the fuck's
what's
going
going
on?
on?
But
Yeah.
that's how they've done it so well is that they've made sense of this pure chaos.
Yeah.
Except for the X-Men. Get them out of here.
Well, it's not Marvel.
I know.
It's not Marvel. It's
Yeah.
Fox Marvel. They they've done a really good job of sort of just treating it. I like to think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a like BBC event series, like Sherlock, where they put out like 2 episodes a year, but they're really good and they're 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It's just a way more expensive
Well, I think
version of that.
the other thing that got me excited too, specifically watching this movie rather than any other Marvel movie, is the news recently that obviously it's not going to happen immediately, but that Marvel Studios is obviously very interested in potentially bringing Deadpool over, which I,
I don't
think
know
would
if
be,
that'll happen.
Yeah. It will definitely won't happen anytime soon.
I could
but-
see. So the only way that would work, and Infinity War makes this possible. Actually, once you bring Thanos and like the gems and shit in there,
Yeah.
you open the world for alternate like infinite realities and shit like that.
Yeah.
So there is still an in for eventually getting all the Fox properties
Yeah,
into this
X-Men in
universe
there,
Yeah.
by having like an alternate reality Earth where like there's no Avengers, but there's
DC's already
X-Men.
doing it, so that's how they
Get
got
those less
the,
successful guys
Yeah.
over here. Deadpool's way
That's how
more
they got
way
the
successful.
movie
but-
universe of Supergirl involved with Flash because the whole Earth 2 Earth.
We don't watch TV.
Goddamn, watch TV.
No.
It's great.
What a waste of time.
not
I
a
get a
waste of
couple
time.
hours a week.
Stop rewatching OJ all over and
I'll
over and over
rewatch
again.
OJ till I die before watching fucking Peggy Carter. Or
Oh,
whatever
he
the
said
hell
it. The glove don't fit.
You still haven't watched it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you'll change your tune.
I watched it live when it was happening in real life. I don't
Same
need to
here.
watch a
It's
TV
way
version.
better.
Yeah.
It's way better this time around. One last thing. I was really hoping that Vision and Scarlet Witch were gonna at least like make out or something.
That made me uncomfortable. The
Yeah,
whole thing with Vision. Vision, what are you doing? Like,
And why are you
also,
in the
isn't
kitchen?
Scarlet Witch supposed to be like 17 or something? Like, she's supposed to be young.
Well, Vision's ageless. Age is just a number
And
for Vision.
also, Vision was just born last Avengers movie,
He's
so
a
he's
baby.
actually younger than her.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't like seeing him.
She really put him
wearing
in his place, though.
Vision in
Yeah.
a sweater makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that made me
I don't
so
like it.
uncomfortable.
I
Him
don't
dressed-
like
Yeah.
it.
Dressed like normal people, I was like, no thanks. Get out of here.
Her accent dropped a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was a mess.
It was a
I
complete
forgot about that.
mess.
Yeah, I was like,
Is she supposed to have an accent or not?
when I was watching, I was like trying to remember while I was watching the movie. I was like, she did go full on in Age of Ultron, right? Because right now she's
So-
just
No.
not speaking
in the
an
first
accent
scene
at all.
when they're on the comms talking to each
Yeah,
other,
sort
but
of.
she has a Russian accent.
Sort of.
They get
Sort of.
back.
Sort of.
They get back to America. Accent is gone except for the word paprika, and then she has like a thick Russian accent for like individual words. Yeah, what?
Yeah, it was that was
Every
that
time
was,
she
yeah.
spoke, I was like, wait,
What? yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah. All right, so we found another problem with
Yep.
it.
Yeah, that's it's not a big problem. for
It's
them.
not a big problem.
It's a minor problem.
Minor one,
It
yeah.
doesn't really matter. That's what they're probably trying to do. They're like, let's ease people into her not having to do a fucking weird Russian
She's
accent.
a good actress though,
Yeah.
too. Like, she's I don't know. It's like maybe one Russo brother was really into the accent, the other one wasn't. So it was like, oh, do the accent. Like, okay, but your brother just shot the last scene. He said to tone it down. Like, don't listen to fucking that asshole. Listen, I'm the Russo brother. You give me the fucking accent. Okay. What are you doing? Tone it down.
But your brothers told me to kick it up a notch.
This is a scenario where the Russo brothers just split the movie in half and each take turns directing different scenes without any input from the other brother.
Should we put a lot of money into CGI in this scene?
No.
Your brothers over here spending millions.
The Russo brothers, they're very sought after because they get all their movies done in half the time because
Yeah.
they're literally just shooting 2 units constantly with no communication between them at all.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there were some inconsistencies, but we can take
You
care of
guys
most
did a good
of it.
job. I hope they each get to do one part of Infinity War.
Yeah.
There's just two completely different movies, both
They're
in
not
tone
even canon with each other.
No.
Scarlet Witch is very Russian in one, completely whitewashed, like Americanized in the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's
times.
fun. Good fan fiction.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I like
Ew.
we do more fan fiction for like people behind the scenes on movies than any characters.
Yeah.
Should
It's
make
funny
your
how
own
that works.
documentary.
Yeah. Oh
Well.
god.
Mockumentary.
Well, yeah.
That's it.
Good movie. I think we all loved it.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Wow, 3 thumbs up. Take
Wow.
that,
Wow.
Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. You dead guys.
Yeah, they're dead.
Dark moment.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Siskel and Ebert.
Both of them.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
what's his name still kicking around?
Roper?
No, the guy with the book.
Oh, Leonard Maltin? But
Leonard
he
Maltin.
doesn't review movies anymore. He has a staff.
He probably does.
He goes to all the screenings, though. I pulled into a screening
I've seen
before.
him many times.
Yeah, he drives a mid-90s Jaguar, which I found a bit odd. And
You know that we've seen a lot of like old people that drive.
he just loves
weird
that
mid-90s
particular car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he pulled it into
I
like
love the oak wood finish on the inside.
But he's one
The
of those guys.
mahogany.
He's been around so long, like I'm behind him in line to get into like the Paramount Studios lot, and the guard's like, "Oh, Mr. Maltin, right this way." Like he doesn't even have to sign in. They see him coming from like 15 feet away. Like,
There's that
"We-
damn Jaguar."
We saved a spot right next to the theater. There's an orange cone. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
And there's a guy waiting over there, like, "Right this way, Mr. Maltin."
Yeah.
All right. Long story short, watch the movie.
Yeah, and
watch all the other movies before it, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It is fun. It is fun watching
Yeah.
those movies. I want to go back and watch Guardians again. I missed that one. Mm-hmm. All right, good Captain America.
Ooga
right.
chaka, ooga chaka.